Welcome, everybody. Just a few more minutes. Obviously, you can see that we're amongst friends, and then there's some new people. We'd like to make you feel very welcome to our craziness, especially my craziness. I'm Miles, and you're most welcome to enjoy the Samsara channel for a little while we wait for the lovely appearance of our teacher, Geshe Tenzin Zopa, who I'm just seeing is floating in right now. Let's see.
Tashidele.
There you are, Tashidele. Nice to see you, Geshe.
Tashidele, Dr. Mel, and everyone. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good.
It's wonderful. Good to see you all.
Nice to see you all. Also, Geshe, will you give me just a few minutes to introduce the program and introduce you tonight? Okay, just give me a couple of minutes.
Sure.
And we have Catherine with us also, who will do our prayers. So that's nice too from everybody. Miles and Allison is the director of the program.
Sure.
Welcome to the Contemplative Studies program. All of you who have been on the ride with us, thank you, and lovely to see all your faces. This is the last time we were all together. We were basking in the radiance of Geshe Tenzin Zopa and that wonderful long life prayer, followed by our coronation ceremony and our graduation. So it's nice to all be back with you. Those of you that are new, welcome. Tonight is a very special evening with Geshe Tenzin Zopa, our teacher. Usually when they make introductions, they usually follow some sort of spiritual CV. And I'm not going to do that because no CV can capture the radiance of such a human being. All I can simply say this in the lead up to introducing you to Geshe Tenzin Zopa is the following, that in my 25 years of being around Dharma, I've not yet seen someone who so fully embodies the principles of the path and offers, therefore, such a beautiful embodiment of the path. And it, as I mentioned today on Instagram, it really occurred to me how precious it is to have a teacher to embody the path, the principles of the path, because it provides such confidence for all of us who are studying that it is actually possible, that these aren't just armchair philosophies. This isn't just a nice rap. This is a tried and true path that can be cultivated. And there are people who have cultivated the path that have exceptional qualities. And so for all of us who are aspiring to become better human beings, more fully human, particularly at a time in our culture where there's so many distractions and so many places to hook our attention. It's also a very, very, very rare thing that we would come together in an evening like this to study something as rare and as the Lam Rim. I mean, I just cannot tell you, in our culture, where meditation has taken off, yoga has taken off, not many people know about what Lam Rim is. Not many people know about a path that makes it very accessible and possible to reach enlightenment is so far astray from our cultural language. And so I just think it's an incredible thing, incredibly rare and precious, that we have the chance to be with somebody as evolved and as emblematic of the path, but then also look around to your left and to your right, even if there are strangers on this call. It's no coincidence. It's no coincidence whatsoever that you're on a call. There's something deep inside of you that's calling to follow some ancient and tried and true path, particularly when there are so many challenges that we face together collectively as a species on this planet. And so it's my enormous privilege to welcome back Geshe Tenzin Zopa, who has so many responsibilities, so many amazing projects around the planet, that he would spend some time with us. I always feel incredibly grateful and indebted. And those of us that know, after 2 years of studying together, what kind of merit it takes to bring us together for this kind of study, it is a tremendous amount of merit that is the glue. It's the glue that brings us together. And so we should never just take it for granted. Each and every day is an opportunity to collect the kinds of causes and conditions that people like us could spend time doing these kinds of things with a teacher as qualified as Geshe Tenzin Zopa. It is nothing short of a miracle. So with that, let me just thank Geshe Tenzin Zopa for all he does for us. We're not so much part of the umbrella of the FPNT, but he has graced us with his time, and we're so fortunate. We're so grateful. And I'm also thankful to all my friends. I can see all your faces, the ones that have already been 2 years studying earnestly together. It's wonderful to see you again, guys. And then some new faces too. Please, by all means, I would love for you to feel most welcome. Just slip into the stream with us tonight as we enjoy Geshe Tenzin Zopa and his radiance. And let me just take one more minute of your time to set the stage for what we're about to do and embark on, and how Geshe Tenzin Zopa really gave me a good talking to. I call it a good little slap on the wrist. About several months ago, we were about to go in a different direction. We were about to end our 2-year program together and do a little bit of study in Tantra. And we were going to bring in some astrology, and we were going to bring in some enticing little study bits. And Geshe Tenzin Zopa he was very, very subtle. He was very, very subtle, trying to maneuver me, trying to alert me to what it would, just very subtle, very gentle, and very kind. Thank you for being kind, Geshe-la. But I must have a very thick head, and I was very much pulled by some of the tantalizing subject matter that's out there. And so we were a little lost for a little while, and then we came full circle back, and we decided with Geshe Tenzin Zopa that we should go all the way back to the beginning of the path, the beginning of the great stages of the path to enlightenment, the Lam Rim, which comes through Atisha, down through Tsongkhapa, and through His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and down through Geshe Tenzin Zopa, the lineage that we share together. And we should start again, and this time we should start by emphasizing the practice. And so we did 2 years of very rigorous study, and everybody nearly vomited. But they found their they found their way back to the course somehow. And now we get to do it all over again from a bottom-up perspective, and also I think much more community. I think the strength of the CSP is that we're really kind of an intimate bunch. We can take advantage of being a smaller group, and there's a lot of little projects that I'd like to introduce you to as we make our way through the studies this year together. So today's talk is called How to Practice Lam Rim with the great Geshe Tenzin Zopa. It is a launch for a 1-year program that we're going to do together, and to do exactly that, to go through the Lam Rim in a practice-oriented way, and to do some various projects together to bring Lam Rim into our lives, particularly at a time where there's so much violence, so much discord in our communities, so much ecological challenges. And so I think it's really, really important and on all of us, not just to study and to practice, but to find a way to apply all of this in a meaningful way. So that's the intention. And with that, I'd like to just welcome back Geshe Tenzin Zopa. And before he gets going, we can just set our motivation with a little chant from our friend Catherine, the lovely Catherine, who's going to lead us in a traditional chant. And this is a way for us to set our motivation. We should take nothing for granted. This kind of assembly for this kind of purpose is an opportunity to really galvanize our collective intentions, and to really make sure that the stream of our intentions is very, very specifically directed for one aim. The aim that we all share, no matter our differences, the single aim that we all share is that we wish to awaken, not just for ourselves and not just for a temporary happiness, but a long-term happiness, and a long-term happiness that is inclusive of all living beings, including animals and the environment. And so with that, I would like to welcome back Catherine to lead us through a prayer. Please do find the sincerity in your heart. Also, there's a Venerable Lindy there in Tasmania. I'd like to just acknowledge other Sangha on the call. Thank you so much, Lindy, for joining us. Okay, Catherine, take it away.
Refuge and Bodhicitta. Sangye chodon zoki chagnam la jangcho padu dagni kyab suji dagi jinso kye peso namgi jola panje songi jo barjo Sangye chodon zo ki chok nam la, jong cho pa du dag ni kyab su ji. Dagi jen so ki pe so nam gi, jo la pan je song ni jo bar jo. Sangye chodon zo ki chok nam la, jong cho pa du dag ni kyab su ji. Dagi jen so ki pe so nam gi, jo la pan je song ni jo bar jo. The four immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. 7-limb prayer. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of all others to the great enlightenment. Short Mandala Offering. Zai ji bo ki zhu jing mei dou tram, ri rab ling ji ni de gyang ba di, song ki jing du mig de u lua yi, chou kun nom dak jing la chu bar zhou. Yi dama guru radna mandala kam niratayami.
Thank you, Catherine, and welcome everybody, and welcome Geshe Tenzin Zopa.
My turn? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for the beautiful prayers. Basically, I think 50% of my job is done by Catherine. The motivation usually, that section. So thank you very much. Yes, the motivation, dedication, one of the two must have in order to actualize the actual whatever activity that we engage to take on to the path to enlightenment. So, yeah. So Catherine lead through, of course, since our goal is for for liberation or for full enlightenment, then that has to be established on a correct foundation, stable basis, which is the practice of refuge. Refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha, as what Catherine have led. Then the four immeasurable part, that which clearly remind the altruistic mind, the altruistic reason for our life, for things that we're going to do, such as this very session, is for the benefit of numberless sentient beings. temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness. It is for the cause to purify every form of sufferings and its causes. Then after that, one of very important form of condition, conducive condition that will effectively help us to progress on the path to liberation and enlightenment, which is two very important practice of accumulation of merit and practice of purifications of our negativities, purifications of our all negative habits, delusional habits. So the practice of 7 limb that Catherine led is very much focused on these two very important bodies, very important conditional causes, to progress our path on the enlightenment, our path towards full enlightenment. Then Mandala Offering. So the Dharma, in order to receive the blessing of Dharma, that ourselves need to be correct or right vessel, a right container that can be able to hold the nectar, the most precious, ultimate wish-granting nectar, the nectar that which will purify entirety of the contaminations, the contamination of karma, contamination of delusion. Right this very moment that we carry contaminated aggregates, which is called samsara. And this samsara, nothing can able to purify except the Dharma. Nothing can able to purify except the Dharma. Or in another word, nothing can able to purify except the Lam Rim. So Dharma here refer to Lam Rim, the gradual path to enlightenment. Nothing else, nothing that the conventional, the goodness, power, health, money, even if you own entire universe as your possession, nothing can able to help to purify these contaminated aggregates and deliver the full liberation of, or the full liberation, the full enlightenment, the state of omniscience, where you achieve immortal life, where you achieve everlasting happiness, everlasting peace, where you only equipped with perfected virtues. So Dharma is the one that which will only make possible this. So therefore, without preparing ourselves as a right vessel, which is the sincere heart, the open heart, sincere heart, there's a flavor of conviction, flavor of also the element of faith, and element of inspiration. If the faith is not developed yet, conviction is not developed yet, but at least sincere inspiration to really to overcome these contaminated aggregates and to actualize absolute, freedom from entirety of samsara. So, so the mandala offering represent that. So mandala offering is to express or to create ourselves as a correct vessel and expressing that to the omniscient one, the object of our refuge, to grant the transmission of Dharma blessings into our continuum. And on that basis, whether it can be just one single word of wisdom or one single act of virtuous, virtuous attitude or virtuous act that expresses, that illustrate from the enlightened qualities that directly observe into our continuum, and that form into a realization within the realization of path, such as wisdom of emptiness, such as attitude of altruism, bodhicitta, or great compassion, and the enlightened state, which is the omniscient mind of yours, the absolute exalted wisdom of omniscient wisdom within yourself, and that is called the realization on the path. That is called the actualizing Buddha within, actualizing enlightenment or full liberation. So mandala offering, where you offer actual goodness that you already have, such as your own body, speech, and mind. Then whatever valuable things that you hold in your hand, like the mandala substance, then including offer the visualize offerings, and that can be entire existence, transforming them through the power of your mind into wish-fulfilling nectar or wish-fulfilling jam, and offer to Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha, offer to the numberless past, present, future Buddhas. So this way, we create immense of conducive conditions to progress on the path, like that. So all this, Catherine have done beautifully, and I thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Mel, as always, for making your life available for every one of us, to lead onto right track, onto the path towards the enlightenment or liberation I just have mentioned, leading us onto the right track or the path that which will cause us to purify the contamination that I just have explained before. So therefore, you are the one that, perfect guide. Just now you were saying a lot of nice description about me. So the more than those descriptions, in fact, goes to Dr. Mel, and this is something that all the students keep in your heart. I myself too, like you all, that who, get opportunity to accumulate merit, opportunity to purify faults, and because of like Dr. Mel and many of you that who express sincere heart towards me, carry pure view from your side, because of you have the qualities of pure view and regard me as a teacher. So in fact, that itself is a great protection for me, great discipline for me. That really take me to always reminded me to stay focused on the right track. Is it? Maybe if I have no such respect, maybe I can be very wild. No boundary. No. So yeah. So therefore, I appreciate more than anything to Dr. Mel and each and every one of you for your generous respect, generous pure view, and I reciprocate that back to you too, so that you also will discipline like me. So I cannot how to say pull your leg. I cannot drag you down to the drain because of the way you show so much respect. And I regard that this is one of most powerful way to discipline others. Respect is one of the most powerful way to discipline others into the right path. So therefore, I reciprocate that to each and every one of you too. Usually in a monastery, initially we thought that, I thought that I can discipline my students with bit harshness, carrying stick in the hand and being very stern. Then sometime try to be very harsh in the speech, and thought that this will be best way to discipline the little monks. But in fact this is mistake. This is wrong. That is the wrong method. And after 30 over years, come to a conclusion: the best way to discipline is showing respect to the other, showing respect to your student, showing respect to anybody that you wish them to behave properly. Is one of the best way. The best method is showing respect through your body, speech, and mind. So that's the best. Yeah. I don't scared of people scolding me, people criticizing me. I don't scared. People try to drag me down, scold me, accuse me. Even they come after you and try to beat you. But the real thing that which really, I have to be very careful, is when people show respect to you. When people show respect to you, then then really that's very that's a very big commitment. That's very good, very good. Very good. So anyway, yes. So yeah. Anyway, the respect, respect to yourself in your heart. I think that's the best way to, develop yourself. Then, altruistically, when you want your partner, your children, your parent, your friends, and then eventually all the humanity and all the animals and all the sentient beings, for them to abide with all the virtues and eventually actualize liberation. And the best, that is the starting point, or even on the path, when you engage with the rest of the sentient being, the best tool is a respect, genuine sense of respect. So when we talk about respect, one of the respect from your heart is one of one of the way to express through our heart is the pure view, pure view on others. In Buddhist practice, seeing Buddha within others is one of very powerful practice, and that is not just imagining, or not just imagining other, that Buddha within others, but in actual fact, every single sentient being, their ultimate nature is Buddha nature. So the condemnation, the samsara, is just a temporary, obstruction of, temporary obstructions. It's just a cloud onto our fundamental Buddha, you see. So, so therefore, if we have the full aspect of respect to others, complete aspect of respect to others, we literally can able to, witness enlightened being within every single sentient being. Within every single, I shouldn't say within every single sentient being, within every single being, you will able to see the enlightenment, because their absolute being is Buddha, you see. So, so even at the initial stage, just training in that pure view, which is expressions of respect, it is so powerful for your own peace and happiness and securing of virtue, and it's also so powerful to create the environment among others, virtues, a lot of positive energy and peace, you see. So then not only to the sentient being, also to the planet, also to the environment. When you express genuine respect, the complete genuine respect, then you literally can able to experience the pure realm, the realm of the Buddha. You see, so all dependent on the capability of our own mind. If our mind is purified from the cloudy, delusions, graspings, ignorant, hallucinations, then our perception would be exactly like Buddha's perception. Yeah. So in Buddha's eye, there's no suffering sentient being. In Buddha's eye, there's no impure realms or impure beings. In Buddha's eye, everyone is pure. Everyone is as equal as the enlightened one. But because of the impurity, the clouded, contaminated aggregates and contaminated, contaminated being, exists to the Buddha's eye. So in Buddha's eye, do not exist impure being, but impure being exists to the Buddha's eye. You see, and that itself can be the proof that everything is creation of our mind. And if our mind is purified, everything is purified right there and then. If our mind is not purified, then everything is impure. Even when you view Buddha, you see faults. When Buddha appears right in front of you, because of your perception is not purified, then you see faults in Buddha. You see, so like that. So therefore, whether we want to experience, happy, peaceful, meaningful life or not, in actual fact, is very much dependent on our own mind, our own perception, and that's very true even in the conventional reality. Many people do think that money will bring happiness, money will bring peace, money will bring security. And there are so many billionaires that, who express that they are unhappy. There's so many millionaires, they express that they are not happy. They suffer tremendously in the poverty of contentment, poverty of peace, poverty of satisfaction, full of anxiety, like that. You see. Then, if it's the health is perfect youthfulness, health can create. Some people believe that when I'm healthy, everything is good, everything going to be perfect. I'm going to be so happy. I mean, we usually almost all the time there's something to be complained, and we are hoping that when I'm healthy, then I will be healthy and strong, and young, I will be very happy, complete. But then you can see, especially in today's time, there's so many youth and healthy people, healthy physically, but then their mind is clouded by hallucinations and delusions. They suffer so much. There's no peace. There are also cases of even taking your own life, etc. You see. So all these are very much play of our mind. So therefore, like a Pabama Dejin Yingbo's, liberation in the palm of your hand, like that really, even that title, say liberation is in the palm of your hand. So whether we want to enjoy happiness, peace, liberation, enlightenment, or whether we want to enjoy, or whether we want to suffer, it's very much how you construct your thinking, how you design your thinking, how you design your attitude. So anyway, I was talking about respect. So how important the respect is. So yes. So then there's one point, just now what Dr. Mel said, after many years of study, then come back to the Lam Rim, come back to the basic. Yes. So Lam Rim, yes, it is basic. And at the same time, it is the most profound, most extensive, and ultimate part, ultimate Dharma, ultimate study. It suits to all level of practitioners. For someone first time tasting Buddha Dharma, Lam Rim is the one. Suits perfectly. If someone has been studying Lam Rim maybe 100 times, have studied all the sutras, all the tantras, then the ultimate, what do you call the place where you're going to land at the end, your final destination is the Lam Rim. Is the Lam Rim, the final destination. You fly around all over the world. Your final home destination to land is the Lam Rim. So even you have, completed all the teachings on the three yanas, and you have already practicing, extensively, even in Tantra. The final landing is on the Lam Rim. Even you are practicing Tantra, if you are unable to land on Lam Rim, then you are carried away while you're flying, and some kind of, some kind of energy, or there's like sometimes there's certain tangible things. You fly too high until the atmosphere destroy them, isn't it? So like that. After practicing so-called many tantras, tantra, or any other the teachings and practices that you label as this ultimate, and if you are unable to land on the Lam Rim, then you are exactly like, as I mentioned before, you halfway, you disappeared, you become nothingness. You're not enlightened. You become nothingness, you see. So therefore, those qualified tantric practitioners, those who are really understand Tantra, those who really practicing, or the deity yogas, are those that who stay grounded in Lam Rim, who stay grounded in Lam Rim. So, in another word, without Lam Rim, no Tantra. Without Lam Rim, you see, it's very much like you have no home, and you have no home. At the same time, yourself also non-existent. So when you don't have Lam Rim, you're very much like that. There's no home to go. There's no person to go into the home. So when you don't have Lam Rim, it's become like that. I'm not talking about emptiness here. I'm talking about in the reality world. When you don't have Lam Rim, you have nothing. You are empty-handed. So therefore, so fortunate that that those senior ones that who are joining this very, very, very extremely marvelous, most important course that Dr. Mel is leading for coming months, for throughout this year. So fortunate that that you joined this course. For you, you cannot go more profound than this. There's nothing more to search than this. Even for knowledge, there's nothing extra more to search than this. If you have a time, if you explain, word by word on the Lam Rim teaching, you have to explain entire 84,000 teaching. Can you imagine? Now the English translation, there may be many different volume, but there's one volume. There's the one Lam Rim Chemo, the 3 volume, just small 3 volume, like this, 3 volume. When you explain word by word, detail without rushing, you have to explain entire 84,000 teaching. And you see, so there's no greater knowledge to learn out of Lam Rim. Then another thing is, in Buddhist study, you are not looking for new words. You never should look for new words, new styles, new kind of interpretation from the teacher side. The teacher may repeat the same wording, same style, 100 times. The teacher teaches the same topic 100 times. So the students are, each time that you go back to the same topic, your objective is to gain extra more new wisdom. One more extra, or many more, if not at least one more new wisdom, new realizations, new experiences, new path, within new path on that particular topic, that particular teaching. So Buddhist learning Buddha Dharma has to be like that. Especially, like us who learn Buddhism very much for practice, isn't it? Not for academic kind of to become professor. If you are doing that kind of course, there's a different story. It's a different purpose. But our goal is enlightenment, not to be professor, not to get a job. I usually say you study Buddhist teaching to get a job is a wrong path. Even you become doctorate in Buddha Dharma, maybe getting a cleaner job in the McDonald's is far more greater earning. So it's a wrong way to find a job. So people who study Buddha Dharma to get a job in this life, there's something wrong. There's something is missing. The reason is that the learning Buddha Dharma, the extensiveness, the profoundness, is more than learning specialist, doctor, heart specialist or brain specialist, doctor. Much more than that. So you will just to study, it will waste so much time. Then by the time when you go to use your degree, you won't get much paid. So you better go to go to McDonald's or somewhere else. I don't know whether it's there's so many fast food chain that you can work there is much more better. So therefore, so learning Buddha Dharma is for enlightenment, nothing other than that, for liberation. As I mentioned before, when Catherine recited, the 7 limb practice as a true purpose. One is to purify this contamination of samsara, and one is to accumulate the merit of wisdom and merit of method to actualize the omniscient wisdom and altruistic, enlightened, omniscient mind. So the purpose of learning Buddha Dharma is to achieve the true kind of merit of method and merit wisdom, and to result the enlightenment. You see, so that there's no other reason than that at all. That's the ultimate reason. Yeah. So therefore, whenever you go to, whenever you listen to Dharma, yes, you're paying attention to what the teacher is talking, but about 99% of your awareness has to be examining your own mind, your own attitude. The explanation goes on, through scripture, through Lam Rim. You're checking out those characteristics. How many of those characteristics that I have achieved in my continuum, and how many of those characteristics that I need to purify, like such as when the majority of Dharma, let's say 50% of the teaching in the Dharma is to educate us to know the characteristic of the negative emotions, the faults, the faults. So by knowing them, then you're able to purify. You're able to detect the faults in us, and you're able to purify them. You see, so without diagnosing that's something that you need to discard, how to discard it. So our purpose of a spiritual journey is to able to purify those unwanted things, which are the negative emotions, delusions, negative karma. And this has to be, this is very, 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 very profound. The negative accumulations are already infinite in our system. The delusions are infinite in our system, you see. So the teacher has to introduce, such as say anger means like that, attachment means like that, ignorant grasping means like that, self-cherishing means like that. So whenever teacher talks about that, then try to mirror yourself, see whether how much degree of those negativities that residing within your system. And after knowing that, then you apply the correct antidote, which also the teacher introduced, like such as emptiness, all the different stages of the path that teach in the Lam Rim are the antidote. The antidote to purify them. Then you have to see again, you have to check within yourself how many of those antidotes that I carry. Is very much like how many of those immune system that I carry within my continuum. So the more the immune system of the part that you have, then the less disturbances, from the diseases of the delusions and the karma. So it's like nowadays, this coronavirus thingy going on in a similar way. It's very much vaccine or whatever, everything that is about talking about immune system, to fight those those unwanted things. Similar way, our spiritual journey is very much to do this two job. You see, so yeah, so so when you listen to Dharma, then the motivation has to be like that. And when you listen the repeated teaching again, then you see how much improvement that you have achieved. In another way, point by point, reminded to reflect on yourself how much decreasement of the negative emotion happened from the last time up to today, and how much increasement or the development of the path from the last time up to today. You see, then take this reminder as a alert, as a warning. If there's no improvement, then put extra effort to actualize all those benefits, like that. So anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that Lam Rim is very profound. Even you repeat 1,000 times, it still may not be enough. So in short, until we achieve full enlightenment, Lam Rim is something that we have to learn repeatedly. So therefore, those seniors, don't feel that again Lam Rim, again same topic. Why not excited, kind of like what Dr. Mel say, astrology, or maybe some different title called Tantra, supernatural powers, or whatever. There's no such supernatural power out there. When you gain realization on the Lam Rim, without asking, you will gain all the power that you want. So something like that. Okay. So for the first timers, then there's no better course that you can attend than this. There's no better scripture that you can learn than this. So like that. Then this is very much say Lam Rim meditation course. So now you see, Dr. Mel and you group of students, you have put so much effort to study thoroughly on Lam Rim. Even at the initial stage, about 3 or 4 years, I think about 3 years, isn't it? Something like that, you see. So that is a very, very good, amount of time that you have dedicated to learn the Lam Rim. So now, this course is specifically focused on meditation on Lam Rim. So it is very structurally designed, you see. Then in between, you also had some substantial time for a few years, which is for you to contemplate of what you have learned in the past, what you have learned in Lam Rim. So you see, there's a 3 form of practice to deliver realization on the path. First, thorough learning, contemplation, and meditation. Now this one is meditation. So it's a very, very well-designed course. So now, what is meditation? So meditation is very much is you can understood meditation in habituation. Meditation means habituation or familiarization. So when we talk about familiarization, it's not a conceptual familiarization. Here, the familiarization in relation to meditation is try to familiarize in the deeper sense of our awareness, taking in account of deeper awareness. And that become meditation, you see. So just learning information in our normal, intellectual awareness is not good enough. So that is not good enough to be meditation, you see. So what you have understood through intellectual learning, that you need to process through the introspection, process through process through introspection, by applying reasoning, by applying logic, by bringing into our actual day-to-day experience. Let's say learn about compassion. You learn the description of what means compassion. You see, compassion means wishing, wanting others to be, wishing or wanting anyone to be free from suffering and its causes. That is called compassion. So this intellectual understanding, that learning. Now this learning has to take through the process of analysis. In our day-to-day life. When you meet suffering being, you analyze whether you're able to express that or not. Whenever you feel depressed, you have to analyze whether I can express that attitude or wanting myself to be free from suffering and its causes or not. You see, and that also got many degrees: created compassion and spontaneously arising compassion. So we need to develop. You see. You see. So when we perform the analytical process on compassion, is very much a design compassion. Is very much created compassion. You see. So in order to develop the spontaneous arising compassion without needed to apply reasoning, logic, or without even needed to see or object the suffering sentient being physically out there, that your heart is always filled with compassion. In order to reach that level, then this analytical training has to progress onto meditation training. So you have to meditate, you see. Without meditation, we will not achieve this spontaneous realization on compassion. Without meditation, we cannot achieve spontaneous realization on emptiness. Without meditation, we cannot achieve spontaneous realization in any virtues. You see, right now, whatever virtue that we perform, like me, all are lacking of effect of meditation. That's why I need to give a reason for me to generate such motivation, such virtue. I need to give a reason myself to generate such a good thought. The good thought is not like spontaneously within me always. Why? Because of I have not meditated. I have studied, I have contemplated, but I have not meditated. So now, the Lam Rim, there's so many different topics in the Lam Rim. All these topics has to be spontaneously existing within our continuum. We need to practice until that it becomes spontaneous within our continuum. Always existing within our continuum. You see, and that can only deliver if we take all this topic onto the object of meditation. Through taking each topic into object of meditation. By meditating it, all this different topic will become, realization as a wisdom within. It become it called as wisdom of meditation. So we need to meditate until we gain the wisdom of meditation. So after now, we have gained the wisdom of learning. You see, if I ask any question on Lam Rim, you will say, yes, no problem, you know. You say, what is compassion? You know, you will say compassion, blah, 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 you know, everything like that. Then, if I ask question, have you tried to generate compassion? Yeah. I saw one wounded dog, and yes, I saw a wounded dog. Then I really felt for the dog. So reasoning the wounded dog for you to feel. But have you felt that those people are on the stage rocking roll? Isn't it rocking roll? Isn't it? Boom, 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 rocking roll, isn't it? So have you felt that? You say, no, why I need to feel that for this rocking roll, dancing, disco, you know, loud music, wow, wow, wow. Why? They're so happy. That proves you have not meditated on compassion. You know well about compassion. You also did analytical process by reasoning, like such as the wounded dog, but you are unable to apply to the other sentient being. So as long as a samsaric sentient being, they are object of your compassion, but your heart is not in the generation of compassion to them. There's a blockage. There's a, you know, the compassion didn't arrive timely. In fact, the compassion has, as long as sentient being is there, compassion is always has to be generated. Means always has to be there. Whether it's expressing or not, but it has to be there within our system. You see, so in order to reach there, we need to meditate. So I give you one example. You see, in the vast space, there's a sun, there's a moon, and there's a star, isn't it? In that vast space, there's a time that the moon appear, but there's no sun and there's no star. But there's a sun appear, there's no moon, no star. There's a time that star appear, but there's no moon and no sun, isn't it? We all know that. When the star appear, that doesn't mean sun and moon non-existent in the space. Sun and moon is ever there. When the star comes, sun and moon doesn't cease. So we can say, okay, the rotation of the earth, that's why we have that kind of, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. But as far as concerned with the sun and moon and star, always there, isn't it? But at the same time, maybe there are sometimes may appear together, you know, maybe for somewhere, I don't know. But in our ordinary world, in our ordinary experience, in our lifetime up to today, they don't really appear all three together, isn't it? So anyway, so something like that. In the vast space of our consciousness, the three principal aspects of the path, or the Lam Rim, the different topics, has to be always existent, even though it manifests, it expresses in different timely, you know, accordingly. You see, so therefore, as I given as an example of compassion, as long as sentient beings out there, whether the compassion, you know, outwardly expressing in the word or not, or in action by physically or not, but it has to be always arising within your mental continuum. It can be subtle. Maybe right then you may be enjoying the music, but at the same time, there is a genuine, spontaneous arising of compassion has to be there as long as suffering sentient beings out there, even they are rocking. even they're rocking, but still, so something like that, you see. So, in any way, the purpose of meditation is for us to gain the spontaneous realization on the stages of the path that you're going to meditate. Mm-hmm. So now, if I ask a question, let's say if we ask a question that after this one round of meditation course, that I will I achieve the full realization? Possible for some, but for like me, not possible. Like me, I'm already tell myself I need to practice few lifetime. For this whole life, for sure. But in order for me to achieve as soon as possible, if I don't dedicate the rest of my full lifetime in learning, continue to learn the Dharma, continue to contemplate on Dharma, continue to meditate on Dharma, then the gap going to be, eons before I achieve enlightenment. Many numberless eons, you see. But that doesn't mean everyone is same. Maybe among this group, maybe there are many, maybe majority, who knows? You may achieve the wisdom of realization on the stages of Lam Rim path right after each meditation course. So I wish all the best for that, for you all. And please dedicate the merit to me that I also become like you. so that I can reduce my time frame, so anyway, yes. So that is one of the understanding of, the purpose of meditation and the purpose of studying and contemplating and meditation on Lam Rim. So through study, we need to study until we gain wisdom of study. We need to contemplate until we need to gain wisdom of contemplation. We need to meditate until we gain wisdom of meditation. Okay, so just understanding is not good enough. Just contemplation is not good enough. Just meditation is not good enough. So our goal that we need to achieve the wisdom of that. Mm-hmm. So the wisdom of understanding is that after the teacher or the book that introduced to you, let's say teaching on compassion, then you study entirety of the knowledge on compassion from different texts, from different masters, whatever way, or just with one master, just focus on one text. You study until that your logic makes sense, your common sense makes sense. It is not contradictory to your common sense, not contradictory to your logic whenever give the definition of compassion. There's no contradictory. So when you gain the full conviction, oh, compassion means like that, then you gain the wisdom of learning. Then through an analytical process, you analyze until you gain the wisdom of analysis is when, as I give an example before, when you see the wounded dog, then the expression of may this dog be free from suffering and free from all the causes and conditions of suffering. Even just that arising of thought in relation to this wounded dog, not contradictory to your wisdom, and not contradictory to your logic, and not contradictory to your common sense. You see? An example, if you see the wounded dog right on the busy street, you will pause there and you will start to pray or generate that thought, at least, thought of that wanting to help. But there will be also people that ask you, what are you doing? You say, I'm just generating compassion to this wounded dog. And some people may say, what's the point? Some people may say, it's just a dog. It's not even a human being. Some people may say, but can you bring this, can you pick up this dog and bring to the doctor? He said, no, I have no ability to do that. But I can still generate compassion. And if you cannot bring the dog to the hospital, then what's the point for you to express that thought, empty thought? Some people may even say that. And some people may say, even you are bringing to the hospital, but if this dog is not guaranteed to survive, what's the point of bringing to the hospital? Given all sort of reasons. And whatever this reason that you accept is contradicting to your logic and contradicting to your common sense. You are just helping this dog in your best ability, and that itself is truly beneficial, isn't it? Better than just ignoring and go away, isn't it? At least that you generate this good heart. And how powerful this good heart will create, causes or conditions or in many ways help to the dog. Like we as a human being, when we are alone, when we are sick, even someone who don't know you, say, today you look very pale. Are you okay? You feel good, isn't it? At least someone show some care to you, concern about you, isn't it? And comparing that person with some always ignore you, don't even want to look at you, different, isn't it? And our common sense and logic can able to understand, differentiate. So you see, so now every Lam Rim topics we need to analyze by bringing into our analytical process. And we need to do that until that, logically and common sense have a full conviction what you do is right. You see, like many of you and myself, we have full faith in Buddha, and we have full trust in his words. Okay, but if someone who is new to Buddha and new to Buddha's teaching, it's not easy to accept everything is valid. So you need to engage in our day-to-day analytical process until that we gain full conviction on that Dharma, that advice, that teaching. Let's say like a compassion. You see. So once you gain full conviction, yes, compassion is like that, and compassion really works. Really, you really gain, how to say, there's no doubt about even you able to express even in the thought that is still there's a benefit. You see, so then you value that compassion. That is the wisdom that you gain through your analytical process on compassion. Now that wisdom then need to take as an object of your meditation. You say, compassion. The moment that your thought generate that, you see, it's already wow, virtue. You're doing good thing. You're not wasting your time. Okay, wow. You see, so now that conviction, that that flavor that comes in your conclusion in your heart on compassion is very, very marvelous. It's really wonderful. It's really great energy. Great energy. With that energy, if you do something to help someone, it becomes so intense, so great, so pure, so sincere, isn't it? So now that conviction, that confirmation about how preciousness of that compassion, that confidence is the object of your meditation. You see, so now when you meditate on a compassion, of course, in meditation, there's a two process. One is analytical meditation process. Another one is absorption. So you can choose to do moment of analytical meditation on compassion. Since you already know that compassion is definite virtue, definitely beneficial, and you let's say an example, you think of all the numberless sentient beings and understand that there are situations in samsara, and express, wholeheartedly, sincerely, the generation of compassion, wanting them to be free from suffering and its causes. So you can do for some time analytical meditation. Then absorption meditation, the conclusion of that, there's sense of settledness, sense of fulfillment, sense of like completeness, or that one thought, that one energy, take as object of your absorption meditation on compassion. You just settle in there without any distraction. Settle in there for a few minutes, hours. In Lam Rim, when you do meditation, like focus meditation, about, first try about 20 minutes, then half an hour, then 1 hour, then 2-3 hours, like that. So you try your best to do, but as an initial, like a beginner like myself, start with 1 minute. Cannot go straight away to 20 minutes. So start maybe a few minutes. Then you repeat that again and again. You see, when you do that, when you do the absorption meditation, you already kind of stay away from the gross distractions of the conceptual mind or the gross sensual mind. First you get away from the distraction of sensual mind. Then gradually you try to get away from even conceptual mind. Then you try to place your focus on that object of your meditation with non-conceptual settled state of mind, which is quite subtle. Then gradually that you're able to do the meditation by the most subtle state of clear light mind. So it's a long training, but this is just a simple guideline, how you meditate. You see. So now the object of meditation is a wisdom that you gain from your analytical observation. That has to be your object of meditation. You cannot simply take anything as object of your meditation, because whatever you take as object of meditation, that really influence very greatly and deeply to your continuum. If it's not correct, then it's difficult to clean up. If it's the right object of meditation, it is really stay very steadily, and if in a step by step, if you accumulate, more and more virtue through your meditation in your continuum, and this is one of the very steady way to, progress in the path, on the path like that. So this is one thing. Now, how to practice the Lam Rim meditation? How to practice Lam Rim? No. If I say a bit another way, so just now what I've said, that's one of the way. That's the way. That's the way. Now, if I interpret that in a bit some other way, Lam Rim is the condensed in the words, but in complete meaning of the 84,000 teaching, or the 3 baskets of the teaching. The teachings on Vinaya Sutra, teachings on the Paramita Sutra and the teachings on the Wisdom Sutra, or in another word, the teachings on the morality, the teachings on the Vinaya, teachings on concentration, and teachings on wisdom. So 3 baskets of teachings. And the practice that deliver from these 3 baskets of teaching is 3 higher training, the practice in 3 higher training. The higher training in morality, higher training in concentration, higher training in wisdom. So practicing Lam Rim, what you are trying to achieve is the practice of 3 higher training. So what is your objective of practicing Lam Rim? Is for you to achieve the practice of 3 higher training. So now here, the Dr. Mel designed the topics, the Lam Rim meditation course topic. First one is Guru devotion, then precious human rebirth, then death, then suffering, refuge, karma, existence, renunciation, altruism, engagement, attraction, focus, insight, tantra. Guru devotion is the foundation of all the good qualities. Guru devotion, the teaching, the meditation, the practice on Guru devotion is the foundations to achieve all the stages on the path to enlightenment, like path of renunciation, path of bodhicitta, path of wisdom, emptiness, including enlightenment. In another word, Guru devotion is the foundation where you can build all the realizations on any virtuous topic that you wish to achieve. Like compassion, as I given an example before. So now this topic, if you divide into 4, Guru devotion is foundation, then precious human life, death, suffering, refuge, karma, existence are within the practice of renunciation, the first principal aspect of the path. Then altruism engagement is the second principal aspect of the path, bodhicitta. Then attraction, focus, insight is the third principal aspect of the path, the wisdom. Then resultant practice is the tantra. You can also define like this. Another word, Guru devotion, practice in Guru devotion is the foundation. Then life, death, suffering, refuge, karma, existence are the causes and conditions to actualize the first principal aspect of the path, the renunciation. So the 3 principal aspects of the path that which we must achieve in order to progress on the path and get enlightened. So now in order to achieve renunciation, we need to learn about life, such as precious human rebirth. Need to learn about the death, need to learn about the suffering of samsara, need to learn about the refuge, need to learn about karma, need to learn about existence. And that will make us to develop the mind of renunciation. So in another word, learning about life, death, suffering, refuge, karma, existence is learning about the true truth. Learning about the true truth. So the truth of conventional truth and ultimate truth, or conventional reality and ultimate reality. Buddha have said, true truth to be learned, two paths to be achieved, and no, two paths to be cultivated, and two bodies of the Buddha to be achieved. Must learn thoroughly about the characteristic of conventional truth and ultimate truth. Then actualize the path of bodhicitta and path of wisdom of emptiness. Then the result is Buddha's true body, Buddha's truth body, and Buddha's form body. So now, you see, learning conventional reality about life, death, suffering, including the object of refuge, karma, existence, are learning about the conventional truth. By learning conventional truth, what is so important, what is so beneficial to actualize the first part, because that will help us to see the true color of the reality world. And the reality world is samsara, isn't it? You see, when you learn about life, death, suffering, karma, existing, you learn about the suffering world. You learn about the refuge, you learn about the object of liberation, that you learn the conventional reality of the existence of liberation. And that will help us to gain a genuine sense of renunciation. So you see, without learning, without learning and meditating and gaining realization on the conventional reality of the world, no way that we will gain mind of renouncing it and actualize, and aspiring to actualize the liberation. You see, so then learning the absolute reality, ultimate reality of life, death, suffering, refuge, karma, existence, is learning about ultimate truth. You see. So the earlier learning about the conventional truth will the practitioner will actualize the mind of renunciation, and that renunciation will lead to actualize the path of bodhicitta, path of loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, and that will lead the practitioner to achieve Buddha's form body. By learning the ultimate truth about life, death, suffering, refuge, karma, existence, will actualize the mind of renunciation, the wisdom of renunciation, and that wisdom will lead to realize the wisdom of emptiness. And that wisdom of emptiness will result Buddha's truth body or Buddha's wisdom body. So you see, all link, all connect, you see, so like that. So now altruism and engagement, I put into the second category of the three principles of the path of altruism. What I see when I look at this, first, altruism and engagement. Altruism, the aspirational bodhicitta, development of aspirational bodhicitta. Engagement, the practice of the engaging bodhicitta. So where the serious practice about the method aspect of the path or the bodhicitta practice comes about. So you see, then attraction and focus is focusing on the development of shamatha, which is a big subject, to gain the mind free from distraction. So when I saw the attraction, immediately come in my mind all the faults of the shamatha. Without eliminating all the faults of the shamatha, no way that you can achieve shamatha or single-pointed concentration. You see, So, yeah. Then focus is the single-pointed mind or the shamatha. Then insight, which is the special insight, wisdom of emptiness that wisdom of emptiness you realize on the basis of the mind of shamatha. Without the mind of shamatha, you cannot achieve the focus, analytical wisdom of emptiness. Even you may achieve wisdom of emptiness, not necessarily you achieve shamatha. Even you achieve shamatha, not necessarily achieve wisdom of emptiness. The wisdom of emptiness become most effective to eradicate the defilements. Only the wisdom become special insight, or the wisdom of emptiness that utilize on the basis of shamatha mind. So without the shamatha mind, even you have realized emptiness wisdom, the emptiness wisdom, when you apply to eradicate the defilement, it cannot be so effective. So therefore, shamatha is must needed in order to progress through the 5 paths and through the 10 grounds. In order to progress through the 10 grounds until you achieve the state of full enlightenment, the special insight, which is the wisdom of emptiness on the basis of shamatha mind, is must needed. So that subject covered here. So now the Tantra. Without renunciation, without guru devotion, without renunciation, without bodhicitta, without emptiness, Tantra doesn't make any sense. You see? The richness in Tantra, the effectiveness in Tantric practice, the sweetness in the Tantric practice to deliver enlightenment, all this comes from the solid foundation of guru devotion, solid foundation of mind of renunciation, solid foundation of mind of bodhicitta, solid foundation of mind of wisdom of emptiness. All the part that we discussed before, without that, if one element missing, Tantra no effect. Not only no effect, Tantra may misunderstand, may even cause confusion. All the people who have confused up to today, it happened in Tibet, it's still happening around the world, and in the West, there's so many people confused about Tantra and misuse of Tantra, misunderstand of Tantra, even by the teachers, even by the students, whoever it may be. It's all due to because of not having proper guru devotion, because of no proper renunciation, because of no proper bodhicitta, because of no proper shamatha, or the special insight, no proper wisdom of emptiness, because of that. Because of that. We have so many other things to blame, but actually because of that. When you have this solid devotion, solid guru devotion, solid renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness, the Tantra is the most yummy thing that you can enjoy. The Tantra is the greatest, truly, as I said, as it says, the greatest path, the sweetest path, most effective path. You see, so now, if you really want some exotic practice, focus on this, focus on the topic here, If really excited to do some exotic whatever imagination you may have about Tantra, you really want to have that, then focus on that, focus on this. I'm saying myself, and if there's anybody like me, I'm saying the same thing. You see, then we will never go wrong. What the world says doesn't matter. It will never go wrong. But if this is not proper, 99.999% may go wrong. you see. And people say, oh, of course, we discuss when we talk about the teaching on Tantra. Tantra is so precious. Even within the 1,000 fortunate Buddha, only 1 or 2 Buddhas, reveal the Tantra. If I don't practice now, when I'm going to practice? Yes, there's a saying that. But in one way, no need to worry. If you are fully ripened in this Lam Rim realization, Buddha themselves voluntarily come and initiate you. You don't have to worry about that. Buddha himself, Buddha is omniscient. Buddha appear right there when the disciple karma ripen, isn't it? We just need to take care about ripening our condition, We don't have to worry about Buddha will know or not know. He's omniscient. Omniscient, we don't have to worry about him. We just have to take care of ourselves to prepare, as I mentioned at the beginning, right container. We need to create the right container. Nectar, Buddha is always like it's almost like anxiously, of course, we cannot use this anxious. Buddha have no anxious. If it's say in ordinary, like Buddha is anxiously waiting, patiently waiting to pour the nectar on us, but we are not container ourselves is not prepared, like that. You see, so you see, like that. So anyway, it's experiential, experiential experiences, on the journey from the very starting point. When you genuinely focus on the Lam Rim, then you start to enjoy your spiritual journey. You start to really, feel that it's worth practicing Buddha Dharma, worth, you see, like that. So now, as I mentioned before, to practice Lam Rim is to achieve the practice of 3 higher training, isn't it? So now here, the Lam Rim topic, up to the altruism and engagement, life, death, suffering, refuge, karma, existence, renunciation, altruism, engagement. That is within the practice of the first higher training, the higher training of morality. Within the 3 basket of teaching, the basket of teachings of the Vinaya, individual liberation precepts and Bodhisattva precepts, tantric precepts, you see. So from the 3 higher training, then the last, the Tantra, also you insert there. Through the practice of life, death, suffering, refuge, karma, existence, renunciation, within that, the practice of individual liberation vow, like a refuge vow, is involved there. 5 lay vows involved there. Like 10 virtues precepts involved there. And including the monastic vows, pre-ordination, novice, full ordination, monks and nuns, precept, individual liberation precept, every entire this practice is involved there. So profound. You see, so now, not only learning, but now you want to engage into meditation. Now the meditation also, meditation will give confidence, conviction, isn't it, in the practice. So then that way, you can slowly, if it's convenient, not something must, but if it's convenient, then slowly, you take all the individual liberation precepts. You start with taking refuge. You start with taking 5 lay vows. Then after that, if you can effort, you can start to take, the vows of 10 virtues. Then vows of ordination vows, including the fully ordination vows. It's not something must. If you wish to, all this comes in the practice in the first section. And how wonderful if you can able to achieve within this precious human rebirth the entire complete vow of individual, entire complete practice of the first higher training. Practice of the first higher training. Okay, how perfect we don't know, but at least practice of the first higher training, refuge vow. Then all the Sangha vows. On top of that, Buddhist vows. On top of that, Tantric vows. So can you imagine in one life that you have all those precepts and you are trying your very best to observe it. And many of the monastic sanghas are observing that. I'm not a good practitioner, zero, but I have all these vows. You see? So even I stay in the beach whole day, enjoy Coca-Cola, whatever, not so healthy, but still meaningful from that sense. But I'm not boasting, saying that wow, I'm practicing like that. I huge transgressions happens, but I'm just never giving up, just trying my very best. I just as if that there's no other chance again that I will have this such opportunity to observe the entire complete vow that what Buddha has. Buddha become enlightened, training in these precepts, and we as a follower student, we have to try our very best, according with your opportunities. Like many of you have a family, have a lay commitment. In no way you can become monk, isn't it? So not to worry. Now you can refer to my example given before: sun, star, and the moon. Even though they are always there, but doesn't mean that all three have to appear together, isn't it? When sun comes, sun's rays is focused. When the moon comes, moon's light focus. When the star comes, the star's light focus and overshine everything. But that doesn't undermining say, I don't need that. I don't need moon. Now today is a star day. I don't need sun. I don't need moon forever. Delete from the universe. We don't have to say that, but we focus on the star's light. Enjoy. Similar way, like me, I have the external condition to become monk. You see? Then at the same time, I have the condition to also practice the Buddhist vow. And also have a condition to practice the Tantric vow. Okay, good, fine. But many of you who have children, who have family, you cannot become Sangha, you cannot become monk, but you can practice Buddhist vow. You can practice refuge vow. You can practice Tantric vow. Now, if you cannot shine out the light of the individual liberation vow of Sangha, you shine out the light of the sun, Buddhist vow, Buddhist precept. I think many of the Dr. Mel students, we took Buddhist vow in Bodh Gaya, in Nepal, isn't it? And we hope that we have again and again opportunity in future, you see. So you don't have to worry, but you don't have to discount. In order to become a Buddha, don't have to be monk, don't have to delete that. You still pray, you still aspire that if I have a conducive condition in this life, I will. If not, next lifetime. But this life, I have a full opportunity to cultivate Buddhist vow. You shine with that. Like how the sunlight shine, even though the moonlight and the starlight is not visible at all. You see? So you keep them as aspiration, because when the night falls, then you can use the moonlight or the starlight, isn't it? Something like that, you see? Then Then the second higher training is attraction focus. You eliminate all the distractions and actualize the shamatha, single-pointed concentration shamatha. Or that's a second higher training, practice second higher training. So without which, no way we can progress on the stages of the ground, as I mentioned before. Without shamatha, cannot achieve insight. Then no insight, wisdom of insight, cannot apply effectively the antidote to overcome the defilement, you see. Then the third higher training is the insight, the higher training of wisdom. You see, wisdom of selflessness, wisdom of emptiness, wisdom of lack of inherent existence, or wisdom of interdependent arising. You see, so when you look at from this angle, how profound the subject is, isn't it? So, how to practice Lam Rim? Practice the Lam Rim to actualize the three higher trainings. Okay. So during the course, I'm sure definitely there will be a lot of explanations to strengthen, the greater wisdom of learning. Then between meditation and the class, take as a wisdom of the practice of contemplation, regionalize to your take onto your day-to-day life, and to gain the conviction of wisdom of analysis. Then try to find time, maybe during the teaching, maybe you can take some time to really to do short analytical meditation. Then after that, also maybe a few minutes of absorption meditation. Then after that, mainly do the meditation in your homework time, in individual, because during the teaching, short 1.5 hour time cannot finish. So major progress should happen individually and through homework. Try to find as much as time as possible to do meditation. Then eventually, try to yourself and the path inseparable. Yourself and all this. You see, when you focus on the Guru, you see absolute Buddha, oneness with Buddha. Your heart, Guru's heart, Buddha's heart, oneness. Like your heart, Dr. Mel's heart, Buddha's heart, oneness. Like that. Then when you think of the second topic, life, you think that complete opportunity, full potential to practice Dharma. I have full potential, such as 8 freedoms and 10 endowments were taught in Lam Rim. Full potential, you see. I don't have to doubt about myself, whether I can practice Dharma or not, whether I can become enlightened or not, whether I can benefit numberless sentient beings or not. Think of your life, the first thought comes about is, I have full potential, full capability, full freedom, to practice virtues and achieve enlightenment. When you think about, when you focus on the death, you see, then, the impermanent about death. You see, yes, I have full potential, this life, so precious, wow, all the freedom I have, but the conventional reality, nature of this life lies in the impermanent. It's not a permanent. No one can guarantee that I will still be alive until next moment. But one thing I can guarantee is this very present moment, I'm alive. And plus, I have full potential to practice Dharma, practice virtue. since I'm sure this only one moment is definitely I'm alive, just for one moment, I fully focus on the virtue, fully focus on the compassion, loving kindness, whatever, all the wisdom, fully focus on that. Cannot waste my time. Because if I waste this present moment, next moment may have no chance. You see, so the moment whenever you reflect on the death, then think of the impermanent of our life, and immediately, live in the present moment and be happy in the present moment, be virtuous in the present moment. Put aside about all the concern. There's no benefit. No benefit. Like Shantideva say, if the problem cannot be solved, then what's the point of worrying? If the problem can be solved also, what's the point of worrying? What's the benefit of, if the problem can be solved, what's the point of worrying? If the problem cannot be solved, what's the use of worrying? You see? So the moment you think of life and death, immediately, you start to enjoy the present moment. You try to be happy in the present moment, because that's in your hand. You see, like that. Then think of suffering. Don't feel depressed. Rather, take the opportunity to generate compassion. You see? Then take care of oneself. If oneself going through any problem, then respectfully, we talk about respect, respectfully take care of ourselves. Give some respect, comfort. Say, okay, no worries. The suffering also lies in the impermanent. This also will pass. So I don't have to grasp as if this will remain forever with me. Like this pandemic, many people suffer, and many people do think that this pandemic is as if permanent suffering. But then many, this is crisis, but this will pass. And people just uplift themselves and focus on the right thing instead of suffering, instead of misery. Is it like that? You see? So, since I have a potential to become, fulfill all the spiritual benefit, life is impermanent, then suffering nature is also real in the conventional world. So therefore, I must go for refuge. I must go for refuge. I must go for refuge. There's someone who is fully enlightened, like Buddha. You see, Buddha himself is the enlightened one, enlightened object of refuge. Buddha himself is the Dharma. Buddha himself is the Sangha. Buddha himself is the Guru. So you go for refuge in Guru, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and follow follow only Buddha's teaching. I hope it's okay to say that. Buddha's teaching don't need to relate as a religion thing. Buddha's teaching means compassion. Buddha's teaching means non-violence. Buddha's teaching means inter-coexistence, interdependent arising. Just take away the religious aspect. If any of you have not regarded yourself as Buddhist, Buddhist practice can be practiced by anybody. You see. So now here, like what Lama Tsongkhapa says in Lam Rim, you see, by thinking of precious human rebirth, that you confirm that I have full capability to practice Dharma. By thinking of death and impermanent, that I must practice Dharma right now. I must practice right now. By thinking of, refuge, refuge is a big subject. You see, when you take refuge means about the suffering, about karma, about existing, then you go for refuge. So when you go for refuge, then you practice only Dharma. Because at the time of death, nothing can help us. Not our possession, not our power, except the virtues imprint that you accumulate through practice. You see, so like three things that three confirmation. I definitely can practice. I have full capability to practice Dharma. I must practice Dharma right now, and I must practice only Dharma. The three things confirm. So we need to meditate until that we develop that. You see, so when you have that, means you have genuine renunciation. Until you gain that, until you gain this three things, renunciation is ups and down, so you need to have you see, the one of the sign of you have renunciation, the mind of renunciation, first principle aspect of the part is that I have full capability to practice Dharma. I must practice Dharma right now. I must practice only Dharma. Then realization or renunciation is complete. So like that. So then when you practice, so you see, then altruism. First, you just take aspirational Bodhisattva precepts. At least that every day I will remember to generate great compassion, at least in my thought. At least every day that I will carry the motivation of working for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness after the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. You see, then gradually, try your best to engage in action. And in order to take it even further, more intense practice, then you take the engaging Buddhist vow, then committed to really body, speech, and mind, always work for the well-being of sentient being. Starting from yourself and your family members. Because if you don't include in the object of your compassion is not complete compassion. So you start with yourself and your family and the rest of the others, you see. Then at the same time, never to waste, never to understand the entire worldly phenomena, the worldly existence are distractions, object of delusions, you see. So ordinary and worldly have to be differentiated. Worldly meaning that which apprehend by delusions. Then every those things, the subject, object, the action between, everything become worldly, which is very negative. But be ordinary person, enjoy ordinary things, that doesn't matter, you see. So, so worldly existence are the great distraction to our progress, you see. So meaning that we give full mindfulness to guard our three bodies, our three doors, body, speech, and mind, by following or indulging or stay under the domination of, delusions, such as anger, ego, centered mind, like that, you see. The more you discipline your body, speech, and mind in that way, the easier to obtain, easier to gain the mind of concentration, single-pointed mind, you see. Then, especially insight, wisdom, you divide your 24 hours into two. You see, the activities and conclusion of activities. So during all activities, like going out, walking, eating, etc., everything view as a illusional-like, dream-like. Train our mind, everything see as a dream-like. Try to always alert your mind, alert your perception that what you see is not necessarily is the ultimate reality of that. What you hear, what you taste, what you feel, these are superficial. The actual reality of all those experiences and all those things lies in the different nature, which is, the nature which is lacking of true existence and inherent existence. You see, so dream-like, you see. So that way, help ourselves to reduce our graspings. Yes, we will continue to get angry, but our angry will be very least power. You see, the stronger the grasping is there, inherent grasping, true existing grasping is there, then the anger becomes more power, more solid, you see. So the training of our mind in our day-to-day life, seeing things as a dream-like, illusional-like, help us to lose our grasping. So then when unpleasant things comes in our way, we acknowledge them, but we don't need to suffer that much, how we used to suffer. When any good things comes in our way, we appreciate them, but we don't hold them as is permanent, because even good thing also passes impermanent, isn't it? So these are practice that we need to, take onto account. You see, then try to find at least 1 minute, 2 minutes to get into absorption meditation on emptiness, like, try to abide, focus on the idea, on the feel of voidness of any inherent ideas, any inherently projected things and events. Try to abide your thinking, focus on the voidness from that. So when you experience that voidness, when you start to focus on that voidness, you start to feel relief. You start to feel like you are unchained. You are kind of like liberated from graspings. And that way you start to feel goodness, feel sense of joy, peacefulness, floating like that. You see, unchained like that. Then that point, try to educate your mind that the actual reality of entire existence is nothing more than the union of voidness and bliss. So you try to meditate on the voidness and bliss, as much as possible. You train your mind. Then when you go to bed, try to, when you shut down, when you close down of daily activities, you regard that, because in order to go to sleep, you want to sleep peacefully, restfully. So you don't want to caught up with so many thoughts. So we usually try to delete all those thinkings, isn't it? So here you try to take that onto a training of your mind in the wisdom, that you're deleting all those graspings, letting go, and try to have a lesser and lesser thoughts, thinkings. Then at the same time, because of going to sleep, naturally, you gather all the thoughts onto one point until almost like losing any grief on any thoughts. You see, then label that in your heart, educate that this is the voidness of all the graspings. Since that is very much, even physically going into rest, you feel good. You feel good. So that goodness you label as a bliss. The bliss, which is a nature of the voidness of the grasping. Why the bliss is important? Because the blissfulness is one of the very important element which comes from the voidness of graspings. Can be permanent grasping to someone who say wrong thing to you in your office. You cannot let go. Someone scold me, that grasping. You see, when you let go that, the absolute letting go has the element of blissfulness, means relief. You see. So the voidness of that grasping of letting go of someone scolded you, the revengefulness, bring a bliss. So that's why it's important to union with the bliss, so that you will have the complete quality object of meditation on emptiness or voidness. So that's why we always try to, label as a union of bliss and voidness. So when you go to bed, try to doze off with the idea of union of bliss and emptiness. Try your best. You may lose. You may lose that idea. Then you fall asleep. Doesn't matter. You do again and again, again and again and again. Eventually, then you may even able to, at the dream state, at the middle of the night, that you are still vividly aware of union of bliss and voidness. Then that is so powerful, that is so intense training that when you wake up, the first thought, the first mind is arise in the union of bliss and voidness, like total freedom, total free and sense of uplifted, joyful wake up. Then after that, when you go for coffee, the coffee also tastes better. When you look at your partner's face, you see the dakini daka in your partner's face. Otherwise, like, you start to see everything is good. Your room is like suddenly got a new color. You feel like the coffee. How come? It's the same coffee I've been drinking for so many days, but today coffee tastes much better. You see, so then everything feels good. Feel your when you go to your wardrobe, wow, everything looks wow. I didn't know that I have so beautiful clothes. I didn't know that I have such beautiful jewelry, And when you wear with sense of like kind of elegant, sense of dignity, sense of respect, sense of, wow. So you are completely adorned with such a positive energy. Then when people see you, today she looked beautiful, he looked beautiful. He's wearing the same thing like yesterday, but yesterday was very ugly because it's very moody. Today is like, wow, isn't it? So like that. So you conclude like that. Okay. Then, final word. So then, you see, as I mentioned at the very beginning, the respect. Now this respect, train until that you only carry pure view. Whoever you see, you really see them in Daka Dakinis, Buddhas. Even someone who is doing such a wrong thing, doing wrong thing. Conventionally, it's absolutely wrong thing. Going to go into prison, will result into prison. But your focus is the Buddha nature in that person, not the focus on the negative side. You will equip with that much quality, that much unbelievable. 99.9% false, but your focus somehow go to that one quality, that Buddha nature. Whatever you see the celestial mentions of the Buddha, celestial mention of the deities. When you look into yourself, you see Buddha within yourself. Okay, and that is Tantra. Tantra means protection of your mind from ordinariness. You see everything in divine, everything positivity. So this is Tantra. How many kind of yoga you practice? The purpose is to develop that. So you see, so now without even having initiation, you can practice that. Based on the Lam Rim, you can train that. You see. So next time initiation require, just initiation, put the vase on your head and blah, 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 everything, 1.5 hours, finish. But if we are not trained in that, 1.5 hours can liberate you, can lead you to enlightenment? Not possible. Many people believe that. I receive initiation, I'll be enlightened. No need to do homework. Many do that. Many believe, even in Tibet, even now in the West, in Southeast Asia, everywhere, many believe high Lama touch their hand on the crown, your crown, you'll be purified, you'll be liberated. And this is very much regard to the initiation too. So that people rush to the initiation, but people come to meditate on Lam Rim, no. You see, maybe here, maybe this course, if Dr. Mel continue to lead Lam Rim, the student will be lesser and lesser and lesser. Dr. Mel say, I want to initiate. I don't know how many, 100%, double. This is reality, you have to address. This is reality. It's not only everywhere like that. You see, so therefore, that's why so many little become enlightened. In the past, there's so many, every year there's a story of that yogi enlightened, that practitioner enlightened, Nowadays, it's so hard to hear. So rare to hear, isn't it? You see, it doesn't mean there's no qualified, there's no correct Dharma out there, there's no qualified teacher out there. It's because of ourselves, So anyway, so Tantra, you see, everything pure view. How wonderful, isn't it? How wonderful. First, you start to practice with yourself, from today onward. Me too. At least try to at least accept the reality. It's too much. Stay in hallucination. The hallucination is harming you, make you sad, make you difficult life, isn't it? At least we focus on the reality, the absolute reality of ourselves beyond conceptual understanding, beyond hallucination understanding, is we are no different than the Buddha, because our absolute nature is Buddha nature. Okay, now at least start to acknowledge that, start with acknowledging my absolute nature is Buddha nature. Okay, so then you try to expand the rest of the quality, so something like that. So okay, thank you. So I will stop here, but there's a short preparatory guide to the Lam Rim meditation. I've shared with Dr. Mel, and sometime if it is useful, you can use that. So I compile, as I mentioned before, in order to gain the Lam Rim realization, you need merit, purification. Without that, just knowledge is not good enough, you see. So there's a visualization in relation to Lama Tsongkhapa, then preparatory practice of taking refuge, generating bodhicitta, etc. Then there's a section that in this text, I put foundation of good quality. Now, instead of that, you put the topic that Dr. Mel have designed. You use that topic. So you can use this, especially for the people who do homework at home. So you follow this text, then you insert what you learn from the class. Then you use meditation, then conclude with the dedication. So it might be quite late for you all. I'm sorry for that. Very quick. I will try to do very quick. So he said benefit of visualization. So I will just go to the content, table of content, benefit of visualization. Then taking refuge, generating bodhicitta, 4 immeasurable prayer. I've already mentioned before, invocation prayer. So now you invite the merit field, which is Lama Tsongkhapa, in order for you to have a successful meditation. Then after that, after invocation, it's like inviting him as a friend, as an object of your respect. Then you visualize how he looked like, how he's raised. So I have a short meditation guide, just follow that. Then after that, in order to accumulate merit, since you have the object of merit field or the refuge, Lama Tsongkhapa, now you do the 7 limb practices, as I mentioned before, the importance of 7 limb practices. Then do Mandala Offering, requesting teachings, requesting blessings, in particularly requesting blessing of that particular Lam Rim topic that you are meditating on. Then after that, you do the actual meditation. So whatever topic that Dr. Mel teach, then you meditate on that topic. Again, as I guided before, do a bit of analytical meditation. Then after that, you also do Absorption Meditation. So these two combined is most beneficial. Then after that, visualization on receiving purification, blessing, realization on the path. So that is after, you do the meditation, then you visualize it's receiving the blessings to gain the realization on the path. Then after that, the prayer absorption on Guru Lama Tsongkhapa in your heart, which is very important. In this text, the syllable Om Ah Hung, the Om represent the Chenrezig, the Ah represent Manjushri, Hung represent Vajrapani, because Lama Tsongkhapa is embodiment of these three deities. You can also, if you feel difficult then you just syllable Om, then one Lama Tsongkhapa, dissolve, the light form Lama Tsongkhapa dissolve into you and emerge together with your in your heart. Then syllable Hum also Lama Tsongkhapa, syllable Ah also Lama Tsongkhapa. You can also use that. Then after that, dedication prayer. So the dedication prayer, carefully selected, which is for us to never be separated, from perfect mind Guru like Lama Tsongkhapa from life to lifetime. So there are many, very, very clear when you read the prayer, even the heading of the prayers are very meaningful, so like that. Then the Lama Tsongkhapa's Guru Yoga prayer, so I put here at the end of the dedication, which is regarded a very, very powerful prayer. That prayer, or some they also regard as a mantra. So this Lama Tsongkhapa prayer regarded as a king of all the mantras and prayers. This mixema mimetsebe tejincherese temekimbe obo chambeya tubomalaju kanjekebe tuje tsongkhapa losanta bishala soade. This was in fact Lama Tsongkhapa himself composed this to his one of most precious guru, the Venerable Rendawa. Rendawa Shunu Chogi Lotu. The main teacher who taught Lama Tsongkhapa the major teaching on Madhyamika and major teaching on logic and reasoning and Madhyamika, or the valid cognition and emptiness. So this is Chizun Rendawa. They also call Venerable Rendawa. They also call the Chizun Rendawa Shunu Chogilote. So when Lama Tsongkhapa composed, Mingmetsewe Tejen Cherese, Temekembe Ombo Chambeya, Tubumale Jomze Sanweda, Kanjen Kebe, Tsugin Rendawa. I think Tsugyen Shunu Lerde or something like that. Then Losan Tabishala Sowa, Chizun Rendesh Shabla Sowa that, like that. So Lama Tsongkhapa regarded Rendawa as an embodiment of Chenrezig, embodiment of Manjushri, embodiment of Vajrapani, Riksum Chidu, the one essence of the three deities. So when Lama Tsongkhapa offered that praises, Rendawa says, "No, I appreciate, and I appreciate your conversation and your praise to me, and it is very beneficial. But the actual this praise goes to you." Even though Lama Tsongkhapa was a disciple of Rendawa, but the Rendawa says the actual three deity embodiment in one guru, one person, is you. So therefore, this conversation, this prayer should be to you. So then Rendawa said, "Mimetsewe tejen cherese teme kimbe ombo jambeya tubomale juda sawe kanjen kimbe tsugen tsongkhapa losan tabi shabla sowa dep." So this composition then came about, and you see, even before any deity yoga practices, if you do retreat of Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga, regarded one of the most powerful way to clarify obstacles and also to draw the conducive conditions to the daily yoga practices. So therefore, even for us here to gain Lam Rim realizations, maybe those of you who is interested, then I strongly recommend that you can memorize this prayer. Then whenever you can recite this. There are many individuals who conduct 100,000 retreat. There's a great master called Jamyang. Jamyang Shepa Ngawan Tsundu, there's one great master, realized master. He have said that if you do a retreat of accumulation of 100,000 mixema, then without any doubt, life after life, that you will be guided by Lama Tsongkhapa. So in a monastery institution, in particular in Gelug monastery institutions, our teachers strongly emphasize the first retreat should conduct on Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga. So and if you do very dedicated 4 sessions, each session is about 2 to 3 hours, you can finish this 100,000 within 2 to 3 weeks. So I have done the retreat twice. There's not much visualizations I was able to do, but as just to accumulation of the mantra, I've completed within 2 weeks. So you see, so it is not something it takes so many months. You see, so maybe those individuals that who eventually, you can aspire now, then eventually that when you have time that you can do that. There's also versions says that when Rendawa composed this text, this prayer, and Lama Tsongkhapa composed this prayer, Rendawa replied back to Lama Tsongkhapa. That time, only the 4 line, there's no Vajapani's prayer there, and regarded Vajapani's prayer added later when in the Dharma institutions, or as well as individual practitioners, occurring a lot of human, non-human, seen, unseen obstacles on the stages of the path. So, so in order to overcome that, since Lama Tsongkhapa is embodiment of Vajapani, then inserted the Vajapani prayer also, like that. Then there's also 9 rounds of Lama Tsongkhapa prayer that also inserted here, which is a very, very powerful practice. And there are 2 versions of 9 rounds of Lama Tsongkhapa prayer. One is Ensa Nyenju and Se Yuba. There's a 2 lineage. So whatever it is, there's a 9 line of Lama Tsongkhapa prayer also included there. So you can read it, very meaningful. Even though in this life that some of us, we don't even have, relate to a spiritual guru. Some may have, but then, sometimes we transgress, commitments. But in the past lifetime, we may have, meet our precious guru, and we have transgressed the guru yoga practices. And when we have a transgression on guru yoga practices, that can be a huge obstacle on the path. So the 9 round of the Lama Tsongkhapa guru yoga practice very effective and powerful to purify that and restore our samaya in relation to guru, like that. Okay, so something like that. So I will stop here. Yeah, so I will not go through the long dedication. So we dedicate just like how the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas and Gurus, whenever they accumulate virtue, we dedicate for the benefit of numberless sentient beings' well-being. So we too dedicate that way. So whatever merit collectively, individually, we accumulate, as well as the merit and virtue accumulated by past, present, future Buddhas, be the complete cause for each and every single numberless sentient beings free from oceans of samsaric suffering, actualize temporary happiness after the ultimate happiness and enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause for these pandemics to be overcome as soon as possible. May all the cure be most effective. May this collective merit be complete cause for anyone that who pass away, in particularly in last 49 days, be free from suffering of death, suffering of intermediate state, suffering of rebirth, and actualize higher rebirth where they meet perfect mind guru like Lama Tsongkhapa, and right there within that lifetime actualize state of full enlightenment. May this collective merit be a complete cause for anyone that who requested prayers due to they are in crisis like health, relationship, businesses, whatever difficulty that they may be facing, or also to those to whom you know that they are in difficult time. We dedicate this collective merit for them to overcome all the challenges in life and actualize all their wishes accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the good people in this world, like such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Kyabje Lama Supa Rinpoche, and Dr. Mel, and each and every one of you and your family members always enjoy perfect health, a long life, and full of virtues, and fulfill all your aspirations up to full enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the virtuous institutions in the world, like monasteries, nunneries, and Dharma institutions, and also the Lam Rim Meditation, the course that you are going through, be free from all the inner outer city obstacles and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the virtue, preserve the Dharma perfectly in extensive learning, and as well as preserve in the actualizing realization on the stages of the path after full enlightenment. May this collective merit be a complete cause for each and every one of us, entire our existence, entire our life, everything we do be complete and only cause for numberless sentient beings, virtues, peace, happiness, enlightenment. May whoever see us, remember, relate through any virtuous way, or even relate us with criticisms, abuse, insult, or even cause of our life. May we only be cause of their virtue, cause of their purification of negativities, and cause of their enlightenment. Dedicate ourselves, the merit, the object, the purpose that we dedicate, all lies in the nature of interdependent existence, all lies in the nature of lack of inherent existence. Jawade nyudo da lama sanje dubyo ne dowa chi jama leba de sala gobar shu chancho simjo rimbo chi maji panam ki juji kewa nyamba me bayan kone gondo pewa chi toni tawa rimbo chi maji panam ki juji kewa nyamba me bayan kone gondo pewa chi rimye tawa rimbo chi maji panam ki juji kewa nyamba me bayan kone gondo pewa chi jambe pawa chi da jemba gondo sambo de ade chi de da kunji chi su talo chi kewa de da tam chi ra dong chi su chebe kewa tam chi da ngo kala chu dong 다지 제외 사와 되고 이제 상보 주제라도 뭐라 이제 가래라고 거기 신감도 팬단데 와 말을 주면 제레스 같은 자도 시합에 세대 봐도 땡겨지 tum도 차지 장고 제외다 진정배배 콘서트 조선고벨레메 들어봐 다소도 지금도 시합에 쇼 파마 심제 탐제된다 땡겨지 미로 탐제다도 동안 자주 생각하나 소주바데다 군지 몰람 쪽으로 이제 샘제네바 진예바 뉴도네네 타주도 왜는 말고 다도 중앙 매번 쇼 배단 소와미 그 이신도 빠점지 샘제라 원고 삼바 최전주베 다시 쇼. Thank you very much, and thank you for Dr. Mel and also all the volunteers that who make this course possible. Also Dr. Mel family that who is the biggest support for to Dr. Mel to continue to turn the wheel of Dharma, and all the students, each and every one of you, pulling together all the great energy, so that makes such a meaningful, virtuous Dharma courses are possible. So on behalf of everybody and all the Buddhas, and personally from my side, I sincerely thank each and every one of you and appreciate, and I wish you all the very, very best. Dr. Mel initially also suggested if I can record some meditation or guide. So I thought maybe not necessary. You just stick with Dr. Mel, because Dr. Mel know very well about each and every one of you, and has the correct wording, absolutely skillful, and everything perfect. So therefore, I don't have to, come in with that. So I just wish you all the best, and thank you very much. And hope one day soon, hope that we will see in person. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you so much.
And sorry for the extra time.
I think this is what the preciousness of human life is all about. We take advantage of every moment with you, and thank you for all your advices. I think it's quite clear. No need for any more explanation of why studying Lam Rim is the most important thing. So on behalf of the Contemplative Studies program, and Allison and all of you, let's thanks Geshe-la, just Zoom way, our Zoom fingers. It doesn't matter what time it doesn't matter what time it is. It doesn't matter where we are in the world. It doesn't matter if it's past, present, or future. Whoever comes across this is our waves of appreciation for all of your blessings for our program. Thank you so much, Geshe-la. We hope to see you again very soon. And all the rest of you, I know it's late for most of you. The syllabus and the description and Geshe-la's packet, his PDF is all included. Once you register, we're gonna upload that description of the course, the syllabus, and you should get your book. The Essential Nectar is available on Amazon, but I highly recommend you get the PDF version or the Kindle version, because it'll come much sooner. And we get started in 2 weeks. So there's a gap of 1 week before we start on May 5th. And if some of this was confusing, it will all make sense. There's so many opportunities for us to integrate what Geshe-la has just laid out for us in 2.5 hours. So don't worry, and be happy, and come back in 2 weeks, and we'll start all over again. Or if you're new, we'll start, and there's a wonderful group of people that will receive you. And so I'm very, very thankful again to Geshe-la and to all of you. And I'm looking forward to starting our studies and our practice again very, very soon. Okay, take good care. Be well.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Take care, Emily and everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good morning and good night.